Hey guys, this is Ryuutsu, back after one massive hiatus. I've been thinking about what sort of a video would be appropriate to kind of get my YouTube back up and running. And then I remembered that one of the first YouTube videos I did on here back in 2015, I think, was actually a sketchbook tour. So I kind of figured this was a good time to go and update that. I feel like I've traveled a big chunk of my art journey since then. I've picked up streaming, which, among other things, really helped me gain confidence with speaking and presenting myself. I was looking back at the 2015 sketchbook tour, and I really saw how much quieter I was speaking, how squirmy and nervous I sounded. So yeah, I do believe that, I did come a certain way since then, and I really do believe in this kind of constant learning and self-improvement. So yeah, anyway, here we are. Let's start with the first sketchbook. This was actually the sketchbook I kind of ended up with the first video in 2015. I'm just gonna go skip through the first few pages kind of quick because we've already seen them in the first video. And I do believe this is where we picked off in the last video in 2015. So here we go. I did some more face studies after that. A bunch of various doodles. I'm gonna kind of just skip through a lot of this because there's a lot of just doodles and studies, and then I'm kind of gonna stop where there's maybe a bit more to talk about. I was kind of really trying to develop a style here. I think it went a bit more, it went a bit too purposefully because I ended up adopting a style that it was kind of forced, if that makes sense. I'm kind of trying to keep it, more natural these days and just kind of go with the flow, see what happens. I kind of end up pushing it too much and kind of fell into a sort of a cookie cutter principle with the faces, which kind of stuck with me for a while. So yep, I'm glad I kind of pushed away from that. Although this particular page was kind of more experimental, this might still be part of the uni sketchbook stuff. Wow, this is old. And this was, of course, after Force Awakens came out. And some more doodles and just various ponderings. More random doodlage. I think I was just kind of trying to experiment in drawing full bodies, which I'm still kind of doing. Yeah. I kind of like this one. She's got a bit of an attitude going on there. This is my original character in Tagwen. This is one of my Guild Wars characters, an Asura. I think I drew this while having lunch with my sister and my mom. This is from the 100. Any of you that might be following my YouTube channel for a while might remember this. I recorded the process of this, the traditional process of this, when my previous laptop got flooded with water. Some Zenyatta when Overwatch came out, and he was my fave. Still is, kind of, but I don't play as much anymore. Some more doodles. I think I actually ended up coloring this one traditionally at some point. Actually, no, wait. Digitally is what I mean. Traditional is this, Nika. That's, yeah. Yep. Doodles. Kind of trying to push stylization a bit more. I think this was a doodle I did at the seaside of a view that I was kind of planning to do digitally and actually paint it with colors, but that never happened. Some ballpoint pen sketching, more of that. Here, I think I was trying to experiment with various face shapes. And this is my fan art of A Court of Thorns and Roses, I believe it was. Yeah, I had fun with that book. It was pretty cool. I think that's where this sketchbook ends, except for some notes in the back about my graduation project. This, I believe, is the sketchbook from 2016 and 17, and this sticker then belongs to my friend from Bulgaria, also an artist that I met at IFCC. She goes by Functional Neighbor, I believe. I will put her link down in the description. She's amazing. And this is a IFCC sticker. For those who don't know, IFCC is an artist event happening in Croatia where you kind of get to meet a bunch of people from the industry, listening to their panels and talks, and it's an amazing way to network with various people. And I do believe this sketchbook was what I took with me at the time, and I had an amazing time and learned so much. Uh, this was random doodling that I don't really remember the intention of. I think this was another Inktober, probably the next year's, 2016, I believe. Yeah, I think so. And this is Vax from Critical Role, also for Inktober, a Traveling Witch for Inktober, and Keyleth from Critical Role, also Inktober, I believe, and some more Undertale stuff. And I think this was one of my first D&D characters that I played with a couple of friends. I really liked her design. I should redraw her sometime. This is my roommate. Some more doodles. And this, I believe, was a thank you for 200 followers on my Instagram, which I was super happy about and still am. I can't believe how far we've gotten. I think this was fan art of Gotham, the TV series, and some sort of a collab that I planned with my roommate that we never quite finished. Haha. Fan art of Calder from Young Justice. Here we have some thumbnails for a project I was commissioned for. Some more Gotham fan art, more Gotham fan art of Oswald, and Critical Role fan art of Percy. This, I kind of really like the concept and I kind of want to finish it. It's supposed to be this kind of a cross between a cybernetic sort of humanoid, I guess, in more like Victorian style clothing. I thought it was a kind of a cool idea, so I might explore that further. I kind of like contrasting stuff like this. Some more doodles, some Yuri Nice fan art, more Gotham, Edward Nigma, for those that know him. I believe this and some other stuff I was doodling at my roommate's workplace. She works in a bar and I kind of kept her company there, drinking some hot chocolate and doodling and stuff. Some more thumbnails for commission work, I believe. I am not entirely sure what this was, but it kind of looks like a female Groot, so I guess we'll just roll with that. I think this was me sketching various customers from memory when I was doing some work in a shop. This is one of my friends while styling a wig. I was doodling her from the couch next to her. I think this was also done in my friend's bar. I believe so, at least. With some more face studies and stuff. This was, I think, some sort of anatomy practice after I just made some various studies of like body parts and whatnot. Here is kind of where I started drawing with like a colored pencil underneath, because I thought it was really fun to do that. I think this is where my Black Cells obsession began. Because we have an Anne Bonny and a silver, and some flint and silver, and some various doodlage, and some punk-ish elf doodlage, some colored elf doodlage. Oh, I had some fun with color pencils here. And I think this is where I took the sketchbook to IFCC, as I mentioned. I drew this at Evan Mel Amundsen's talks. It was supposed to be about concept art and stuff when the idea was for all of us to draw an angry hippie wizard, and it was just, you know, what we could come up with. And I think this was just while I was talking to some artists, doodling on the side. This was also while talking to various artists, I think. All of these were done at IFCC. I think this was a bunch of us sitting around the table and we said the topic for what we were gonna draw was honey, so we just kind of rolled with that. And here I did a bunch of heads from various angles because I was really frustrated with not being able to understand how a head looks like when it's looking upwards. Some more anatomy practice. I kind of like how this turned out. And here I came back from IFCC, or well, I was on my way from IFCC, and I was all motivated and inspired to do various studies of various things. A bunch of that. Some walk cycles. I think that was actually connected to an animation class I was taking. And some studies I did on a bus. And a pirate lady, because why not? Some more pen doodling that I also kind of enjoy. Some more Black Sails stuff, because I really like that show, and I still do. This was inspired by a book I was reading. And some more Black Sails stuff. Some more doodling and thumbnails. And I believe that's it for this sketchbook. And this here, I believe, is the very last sketchbook I've been using. I've got a bunch of stickers on here, some of which are mine, some are... This is my friend Ave Draws. I will also link her in the description because she's also amazing. And we've got some stuff by Valentina Remenar, who is a fellow Slovenian artist, an amazing artist, may I add. And I believe this is by Kaya Solo, a fellow YouTuber. I believe this here is Inktober 2017, probably, because this sketchbook is kind of a mix between 2017 through 2019. I kind of was going back and forth from the previous sketchbook into this one. Trying to draw some more full bodies again. Some more Black Sails fan art of Anne Bonny. I really like picking up a pen and doodling with it occasionally. This here was also Inktober 2017, I guess. I think the topic was moth, or something related to moth. And another topic for Inktober, I think it was divided. And just some chibis, because I haven't done that in a while. I think I was doodling this at a party of some sorts. I kind of forget. And more of a nature nymph sort of lady. Oh yeah, I think this was actually at next year's IFCC 2018, because I went twice. And I think this was me challenging myself not to think about a face, especially here as a face, but just kind of starting from the eyes without any structure lines underneath. I think this was also at IFCC. And I think this is when I came back, because I actually had gotten iPads this year, which is why I was kind of drawing in my sketchbook a little bit less. A lot of my sketches from 2018 and maybe end of 2017 are in my iPad, so I think I'm gonna end up sharing that at the end of the video as well. Some more sketching with a red pencil. Some thumbnailing I did that I still have yet to turn into actual drawing pieces. There's just ideas I jotted down at some point. I think this was drawn at Vienna Comic Con. I was challenged by a friend to do this plane. Then I did this little doodle. I think this was when I was at home and I didn't have my computer with me. And I think this is where I kind of began doing Cookie Cafe traditionally. I was doing this, a lot of this, I was doing with my friend Basement JK, who I will also link in the description. He's also an amazing artist that I urge you all to check out. We did a bunch of these. I think I did some of them traditionally and some of them digitally. I think I did some of these as a study at home as well, with like some notes on the side and whatnot. This was a challenge I also did with Base. It was about creating a motorcycle and a character to fit it. More of these figure drawings. This is mostly what I did in the rest of this sketchbook, honestly. You can see there's a lot of this. Yep. A lot of figure drawing. I just kind of ended up trying to do these with a pen, and I really like the results. It was really fun because it kind of, you know, prevents you from thinking you can erase everything. So, yep, this is kind of what I ended up with, and afterwards I was doodling this sort of thing. Just a bunch of doodles of stylized stuff with a pen, and I just had some fun with it, I suppose. And I think this is the end of the traditional sketchbooks that I have. And let's pick it up with the digital sketching and stuff I did on my iPad. I think this is such a big chunk of my sketching that it really should not have been left out. So, yep, here we go. This is from Anne with an E, a Netflix show that I really recommend if you're looking for some positive, filmy good sort of a television. And this is some of my friends that I did studies of. Some more of that. And some more of that. Some sketching of Flint from Black Sails again. Some color sketching of, you know, sort of an elf fairy type thing that I never ended up finishing. I think I was trying to paint this at IFCC as well, and I never kind of finished it. This was me still sort of figuring out how painting in iPad would work. And I was kind of pushing myself to do something from perspective, from like a frog sort of perspective. This is, like I mentioned, when I got back from IFCC, I really had this intense need to figure out a proper way to do eyes. I kind of like the stylized hair I ended up going with here. And I'm not entirely sure, but I had fun with her expression. These, I think, were also something I doodled up at IFCC, just mindlessly sketching around and experimenting with the hair, with the hairdos and maybe slightly different faces. And some more sketching. I think I was drawing this at the seaside. I was looking at an actual cookie while I drew this, and then of course I had to draw a little human for scale, and also a study I did at the seaside of a bottle that was there on the table. Here I was kind of messing around with various face types, and just, this was once again a time where I just realized that I don't like where my art is headed. So I just tried to mindlessly doodle as much as I could. I don't think in that moment I actually pushed anything that far, but I do think this pile of sketches would kind of motivate me to explore my style further. So I think this was actually an important sketch page in that sense. This is again figure drawing. There's a bunch of these. And some more eye studies, because I really wanted to capture the 3D aspect of it. I think this was me trying to kind of freehand some anatomy then, and, you know, apply what I learned. And here is me finally tackling hand studies, which, if you know me at all, are something that I dread the most out of all anatomy, probably. But I do think that by tackling this, I ended up kind of understanding them better. This was a really in-depth study of hands that I was really overdue with. I was drawing this while selling art at a convention, I think. Some more figure drawing. Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Here is some doodling I did with like sharper edges and stuff. Some more figure drawing and some more doodles. More figure drawing. Also again tried with like doing a mix of like sharp edges and soft edges and just messing around and experimenting. Same for this, I suppose. And this is a portrait of my friend and roommate, Reina, who is also an amazing artist. I know so many amazing artists, guys. And I will also link her in the description, and I really urge you all to check all these amazing people out, because, yeah, please just do it. And yeah, I think with this we have been brought to the end of this video, actually. So that's it for my sketchbook tour from 2015 through 2019. I hope you had fun listening to me rambling about my doodles. I'm looking forward to ramble and doodle with you again soon. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching.